Hi, Dustin, right?
This is Dustin. How you doing today?
Good, good. How are you, man?
I'm good. Is this still a good time to ask you a couple questions?
Yeah, we can start, man. Yeah,
Awesome. Well, again, thanks for taking the time out today. I appreciate it.
absolutely, man. It's a pleasure. So you are the first one today. So I think I have about 12 interviews or something back to
Wow.
back. It's crazy.
All right. Well, I won't keep you too long then.
It's all good, man. It's all good. It's a pleasure. So yeah, how's everything there with the situation?
So far so good. Just trying to stay as normal as you can, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Same here.
Well, Gus, let's talk about the new Firewind album here. Can you tell the listeners a bit about the new one and what we're in for this time around?
Yeah, this is our ninth studio album. It's a self-titled album, so it's simply called Firewind. There has been a big lineup change this time. There's a new singer in the band, but we're also continuing as a four-piece. So I don't know. In my opinion, it's probably the album that sort of um, captivates all of Firewind's elements from the beginning up until now. So there's a little bit of everything there for for the fans that have followed us through the years, or if they're particularly into a certain era of the band. So I think there's a little bit of something for everyone there.
Awesome. Yeah, it makes sense. You would just, call it Firewind. Kind of got, the old stuff, the new stuff. You mentioned, the new singer with you now, Herbie. How did you get hooked up with him?
It was through AFM Records, my record label. So I told them that there's gonna be a lineup change, and I asked them if they knew of any singers they could suggest. And yeah, Herbie's name came up, and I looked him up and checked a bunch of links out and some of the music he'd done before, and yeah, I thought he sounded great right away. I could hear right away that he would fit the band, perfectly, like our sound and our style. He kind of reminded me of our first singer, Stephen Frederick, from the first two records. And so anyways, I got in touch with him, and then we started talking, and everything went pretty fast since then.
Yeah, Firewind's always had, some powerful vocalists to match your guitar playing. It's great you're able to keep that tradition going.
Thanks. Yeah, I think his Herbie is, like, I don't know, maybe the most diverse, but also the most kind of, I don't know how to say. He's sort of he fits the sound perfectly, as if this guy should have been there since the beginning. But that's the feeling I'm getting, anyways. Maybe because we have such a varied record. There's a lot of types of stuff in there, and he sounds equally great throughout all the different vibes throughout the record.
Definitely. And, Gus, you've been involved with a lot of other bands, projects over the years, but, you always come back to Firewind. And, I didn't realize, I know you guys have been around a long time. I didn't realize you guys had 9 albums already. That's awesome.
That's the ninth album, yeah. I mean, it's pretty amazing that we're still here, after all the lineup changes, all the difficulties we've been through, and, the band's still here, and it's pretty cool. It's great. I mean, I realized that that we when we came back 3 years ago, because we were on a hiatus for 5 years almost, and when we came back and did some shows, it was great to see there was still a fan base out there for us. So yeah.
Well, I know you were set to tour here with Symphony X this year. It looks like maybe that's going to be pushed down the road a little bit.
Yeah. It's postponed to 2021. I don't know exactly when. I'm waiting to find out the details. But yeah, I mean, it's just impossible to tour anywhere right now. Yeah, and it's not safe. And there's as you know, there's most of the world is on lockdown. So yeah, we'll get back out there when it's safe again.
Awesome. Yeah, I know you were set to play here in Minneapolis at the Caboose in May, but as you mentioned, just kind of stay tuned, check the sites, and eventually you guys will hopefully make that show up.
Yeah. That's the plan, to make it up next year. Yeah.
Well, it's better to be safe than sorry, of course. I'm sure that's got to be frustrating to have that, kind of pulled out from under you guys. Just getting ready to hit the road, and now you gotta kind of hit the pause button.
I mean, the plan was so well put together. We rushed to really make this album and meet all deadlines, because I wanted the album to be out the same day the tour started, and that was the schedule basically. It would have had maximum effect, and it would have been really good. Really, we were gearing towards a really great impact. Kicking it off with a great tour in the U.S. and the rest of the world to follow. And we had plans to return in America next year, and like the whole thing was almost laid down in like making the plans long term. And then this happens. So but you can't do anything about it. I mean, it's this is a new situation we're all going through. So I don't think these tours, I mean, I don't know. The health is our health is the most important thing we have. So, like I said, we will go out there when it's a safe place again, and when the virus goes away. So there's not much more we can do, and that just doesn't affect Firewind only. This is for the whole music industry right now.
What do you guys do with your time off then? Do you just go back and continue to write, stockpile some songs maybe for down the road, or?
I definitely do that. Yeah, I've been writing a little bit. So I mean, I always write stuff, and especially now that I have the opportunity to stay home a few more months. Yeah, I will be doing that. And I mean, there's lots of other things to do as well. I get to spend more time with my family, and just relax a little bit. Just take it easy. I might film some videos. I was thinking of filming some guitar lessons, because everybody keeps asking me for that stuff, and trying to find a way how to put it out to people. So which platform to choose. We have a lot of options these days. So this is another one of my plans in the near future, to just film here a bunch of guitar lessons and tutorials and stuff, maybe also for the YouTube channel. So there's a lot of things to do, really.
Well, again, the new Firewind album is out here, and we mentioned, a lot of the other stuff you've worked on over the years. Of course, I got to ask you about your time, working with Ozzy. It must have been a weird morning for you, waking up, to an email saying, "Hey, come play with Ozzy."
Yeah, that was pretty crazy when I got the email to audition. It was like somewhere. It was in the middle of the night. I think it was like around 2 a.m. or something, and I was just sitting there watching TV, and then I got this email. It was crazy. That you can't really expect that to happen, right? So, but it did. It was like a movie, like that movie Rockstar, where they call him, and he thinks they're they're messing with him, and he hangs up on them. So, yeah, a little bit like that.
Well, how was that for you as a guitarist to join his band? I mean, obviously, when it comes to metal, I mean, that's like an all-time greatest list preceding you there.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was. I'm not. I would be a liar if I would tell you it wasn't intimidating at first, but I'm a kind of guy who's up for challenges, and I thought this is the opportunity of a lifetime. So I said, no matter what comes out of it, you should just be prepared for it, and just give it all you got. This is your chance, and I really enjoyed every single day that I spent there in that camp, and when we were on tour and making the record and everything. I enjoyed it a lot. It was great, and it was a big learning experience. It was just good to be, around such a big organization and see how they work and be a part of it, and it was just cool. Yeah.
Well, and of course, that's like a dream come true for you, I'm sure, playing all those old, Tony Iommi riffs and, Randy Rhoads, Zakk Wylde. I mean, that's pretty great.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. Yeah. I mean, it's you have the whole pinch me moment every day, basically, playing that, that catalog, and it's basically what Mike Borden used to say, the Bible of heavy metal. and it's so true. I mean, he has such an amazing body of work. So yeah, it was great to be on stage with him and play those songs, play such big shows. Yeah, it was amazing. It was it's yeah, it was a good experience. You know, I think for any musician that ever gets to do something, you know, on a larger scale, it's just a great experience. You know, it's you learn a lot from that. You know, and then you can go back to what you were doing.
Definitely. Well, again, Gus, you know, the new Firewind album is out here. It sounds great, and as you mentioned, eventually you'll be getting on the road here with Symphony X. Maybe, I guess by that time we don't know who it'll be with. But what's coming up otherwise? Is there anything else we should be looking out for here?
Ooh, like music wise, you mean?
Yeah, just any projects or something maybe we should be
No,
looking out for.
no, nothing in the pipeline really. I mean, my main focus was this album. Really, that's what I worked hard for the past year. And you know, like I said, my whole year was sort of centered around the release and the world tour that was going to follow. So it's not like I had something else coming up right after. You know, I'll just keep writing music and we see what happens.
Excellent. Again, Gus, it's been great speaking with you, and definitely the new album sounds great, and I'm hoping to
Thanks,
see you
man.
on the road, you know, when all this stuff clears up here.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Dustin. Thanks. Take care of them, man.
All right, you too. Thanks, man.
Bye bye.